3 years ago, I left South Africa to join an academy full of 99 potential wonder kids at 1860 Munich. We've dominated German football so far by winning the German 3rd Division and the Bundesliga 2 in just 2 years. I almost left for a Champions League side last season and the season before, but I decided to stay in order to win 1860 Munich, the Bundesliga, and to keep the promise I made to my late father. If I fail, it could cause me to go down a mentally deep hole. So stay tuned to see the Munich Derby, a 3-horse title race that goes down to the final day, and to see if I can win the most important trophy of my career. 1860 Munich is in the Bundesliga now, and our first opponent is VfB Stuttgart. And they wasted no time opening their Bundesliga account. Unfortunately for us, Waller cannot stop a shot that quick. But it wouldn't take long until I found myself in a one-on-one opportunity with the goalkeeper. Question is, will I be able to finish? Remember the name, Julius Kumalo. The game ends in a rather unmemorable 1-1 scoreline, but we have to move on to our next game, which would be against Bayer Leverkusen. It might not be an easy start to the Bundesliga season, but if we want to contend with Bayern and knock them off their perch, we need to win games like this and score our goals. With only 10 minutes remaining, I decided to show my class and give Kai Sherlock a dream ball. Now all he has to do is cross it to Diogo, and he heads it in for a goal. After beating Leverkusen 2-0, we'd move on to our next big opponent in Mönchengladbach. With some magic, Diogo ends up receiving the ball. Question is, can he finish? A bit unlucky to be hitting the post, but no harm, no foul. I get past my marker, I give Kai Sherlock a dream ball, and now all he has to do is do what Diogo did not. I think it's very clear to see who's going to be taking the 3 points in this game, but before we leave, I decided to show you guys one more goal from this Mönchengladbach game. We continue our good form against Freiburg, and ladies and gentlemen, I think I scored a goal that definitely deserves a like. I'll be honest with you boys, sometimes when I'm playing on this field, it feels like I'm playing a video game. We're having a near perfect start to our Bundesliga season so far, but even against Bayern, nearly perfect is not enough. And to make matters worse, we went on a bit of bad form, drawing against Hamburg and losing against Werder Bremen. And with our next game being against Bayern Munich, we knew that this was a must-win fixture. And Martinez kicks off the first fixture between the big dogs of Munich. And if it wasn't clear enough already, you can have a look at the table. With us being 8 points behind Bayern, we need to score goals to win this game. I try my best into making that happen by getting into the right wing and crossing it to Diogo. And that would lead us heading into halftime, 1-0 up against our arch rivals. But we know that this is far from over. Right out of the gates, Bayern were on the attack, and this one was looking very dangerous. After Bayern equalized, it took us until the 87th minute for us to foster a new opportunity. A counter-attack, something that we do very well. And this time it's going to be up to me to decide whether or not we win this game.
Denied.
No goal of the season this time. We'd still have one final corner kick, and the cross was put in by Sherlock. The ball fell to me. I took the volley. But unfortunately, Bayern Munich had Manuel Neuer between the sticks, and he's the reason that we and Bayern share a single point in this first meeting between these two powerhouses of Munich. But we know that this season is far from over. There's still a long road ahead. When we got to the locker room, the coach decided to have a word with me. He talked about how he was unhappy with where the team was at, and from there he told me to try to rally the team to help us get into the top 4 by January. And of course, I accepted the challenge. We got straight to business against Wolfsburg, and all we needed here was some link-up play between me and Diogo. I even linked up with Keegan to have him score the second goal, which would seal the game. After winning a couple more games, we find ourselves up against RB Leipzig. I opened up the game in amazing fashion. And you could argue that the second goal was even better. And boys, the third goal definitely deserves a like. And after all that and a lot more grinding, this is where we were in January. Dortmund leads the league, Bayern is in second, and we're in third place with 30 points. In other news, a 94 rated Erling Haaland ends up winning the Ballon d'Or. We would then draw our first game back from the winter break against Hoffenheim, which would make our next game against league leaders Borussia Dortmund a very crucial must-win game. Dortmund start the game off quickly and with danger. They even end up producing a shot, but the question is, can they score? Dortmund wasted a huge opportunity and we had no intention of wasting hours on the counter-attack. So I sent Sherlock away and the rest was history. The atmosphere was pretty tense in the Signal Iduna Park, and it seemed like no one was going to score the opener. But with some magic and luck, Keegan and I were able to score the opener. Although Dortmund were not willing to let that one slide. At halftime, the coach gave us a team talk and he told us to stay focused. He even gave me the instruction of scoring the go-ahead goal. And straight out of the locker room, I scored more than just a simple goal to give us the lead. We needed to put this game to bed, so I got past my man in creative fashion and I gave my left winger an amazing pass. All he had to do was finish. And that's all it took for us to overtake Borussia Dortmund at the top of the table. But now an important question needs to be asked. How long can we stay on top of the table? Well, let's see how our two rivals answer that question. First up being Thomas Tuchel. Well, Thomas' response is very short and sweet. He basically says that Bayern will end the season in first place like they always do. You know, nothing special, pretty tame. But Dortmund's manager? Well, he had a much stronger message for both of us. First of all, clapping back saying Thomas is all talk, and even calling us inexperienced and telling us that we'd be lucky to even finish in the top 4. It is very clear that Eden is very confident in his team. And now it's our turn to respond, in the best way we know how, playing some beautiful football, winning games and making sure we finish on top of the table. Leverkusen would be the first obstacle we'd face in the challenge of remaining on top of the table. And of course, we dealt with them rather easily. Then after that, we'd face off against Borussia Dortmund once more. We wanted to win this game for 2 reasons: to humble Dortmund's manager and to stay on top of the Bundesliga table. It took until the 64th minute for me to get my first shot. And rest assured, I really wanted to score, especially against Eden, to really humble him for what he said about us. But unfortunately, my first crucial shot is saved by Dortmund's goalkeeper. But Eden would not remain safe for long, as in the 82nd minute we were on the counter-attack. A perfect time for us to break the hearts of Borussia Dortmund on our home turf. So I gave the ball to Keegan Dubé, he lays it off to Diogo and he's able to hit the top left-hand corner to send Dortmund and Edin Terzic's men back home, with the knowledge that 1860 Munich is more than just a couple of inexperienced kids, and we're gonna do more than just finish top 4 by the end of this season. So the referee blows the whistle and we walk away with a 1-0 win against Borussia Dortmund. But we knew that Dortmund was not the end of the road, far from it, so we continued to march on to the end of the season, scoring more goals and winning more games. And even against Wolfsburg, a team that gave us a ton of trouble earlier in the season, we just kept our heads down and dominated. I think with a goal like that, you might as well call me a generational talent. But you know what, I think I need one more goal of the season contender. And with us beating Wolfsburg 4-1, it's time for us to fast forward to the end of the season, where we would find that we aren't the only ones dominating the Bundesliga, and where we would find out that we just entangled ourselves in the greatest Bundesliga title race of all time. It's safe to say that we slipped up again, only once, but once was enough to give Dortmund back that first place spot. So now we head into the Red Bull Arena. Our title hopes are over, and my only reason for staying at this club becomes meaningless. I know that this game will not be easy, and I know that it's going to be one of the most important games of my career. It really is one of the games that I must win. And as expected, it wasn't an easy game. Yes, it was entertaining for the neutrals, but it was stressful for us because we knew that only a win would be enough to make winning the Bundesliga a possibility. So knowing what was on the line, I played my heart out. And the team knew what was on the line for me as well. So they also helped me out. They also contributed. It would all lead to the 17th minute where we would eventually get the opportunity to score the first goal of the game. But RB Leipzig would not take it lying down and they get their own chance to score. Fratesi took a very good shot, but thankfully Marcus Valler was able to make the save. And in the 60th minute, we knew that we needed one more goal. So I pushed forward, ran into the box, and gave Diogo da Silva a golden opportunity to score. And thankfully Diogo was able to keep calm, finish the shot, and seal the game in order to give us the 3 points, and to keep our Bundesliga title hopes alive. And now it's time to find out how the Bundesliga table will look on the final day of the season. Tied on points and tied on goal difference. And all we need is a win. But not just any win, we need a big win. Dortmund face a relegated Werder Bremen, and we face a relegated Hertha Berlin. So now the stage is set. We will go to the capital of German football. It will be in the historic arena of German giants, where I played the most important game of my career. I promised my father that I'd make 1860 Munich lift the Bundesliga trophy. And now, I have the chance to keep that promise. Well, this is it. The end of the road. The end of a 3-year road. A road filled with many ups, many downs. A road filled with dreams. A road filled with brotherhood. And a road where dreams were sacrificed. A difficult road filled with talent, filled with creativity. A road where the South African Messi was born. But the road wasn't about the South African Messi. It wasn't about Julius Khumalo. But instead, it was about Julius Khumalo making the dream of a man who he never got to know come true. Of a man he never got to see. Of a man he never got to meet. And of a man who sacrificed his life to get Julius to where he is. This is the end of the road. The 3-year-long road. Now all Julius has to do is score one more goal. The question is, can he keep the composure and score the most important goal of his career? Can I keep the most important promise of my life? You know, there's more to football than just Ballon d'Ors and trophies. There are stories in this sport. Beautiful stories. The world needs more good football stories. And I just hope that Julius Khumalo's story was one of them. This was the end of the road, but not the end of the story. A football career doesn't end on the pitch. So I guess you should subscribe, because when Julius becomes a manager, that'll be a moment that you won't want to miss.